Letter writing. Enlarging areas of concern and influence have made letter writing as one of the most indispensable activities of modern society, like commerce, trade, official correspondence, public representation, and complaints and other dealing and communication with people are carried out through letters. Hence, cultivating the skill of letter writing has become all the more important. The letter type prescribed for the syllabus is actually the formal letter. Okay, so speaking about the formal letters have a variety of purpose, and formal letters are written for the points we'll write are written for to ask for or to give information, to ask or to give information. Second is to apply for a job, and then it can be to make inquiries, then to register complaint about inadequate goods and services, and then to place order or to send appropriate replies, then to apologize for behavior. It can be also to solicit new customer for your business, to seek redressal of grievances, to persuade others, to make an appeal for help, and the last is to send a recommendation. However, all of these letters have a common goal, which is to get the result you want for someone you may or may not know personally. So the important points which is to be kept in mind while writing a formal letter. We'll discuss few of the important points which is to be kept in mind while you are writing an important letter. The first point is that the formal letter is written in a formal language. You should keep in mind the language while writing. Try to avoid starting with I. Keep sentences short and to the point. Do not use contrast like I have, won't, etc. Like in place of I have, sometimes what we write is I have in this way. So try not to use this and try to write I have. Don't use the contraction. Then second point is end with a short sentence that anticipate the response of the addressee. And third is like the tone in a formal letter is very polite and impersonal. Use passive voice whenever writing a formal letter. Wherever possible, you try to use a passive voice. Then be brief and to the point. Do not beat about the bush. Then one should be very clear and specific and state the purpose very clearly and concisely. Then one should be very positive and polite. Even if you are writing a complaint, remember on the receiving end of your letter is a human being. Now, if I talk about formal letter, first we'll discuss about business letter. Okay, in business letters, first thing is it includes the letter of inquiry. It also includes the reply to inquiry or to give information. It can also be for placing order or sending replies. Then, or it can also be for cancelling order. So a business letter is a basic mean of communication between the two companies. It is a document typically sent externally to those outside a company, but is also sent internally to those within a company. A business letter should be written whenever you need a permanent record that you send the information enclosed, because business letters are generally sent to other professionals, a formal salutation and the closing must be enclosed. Then they are different from personal letter in form, tone and content. Most business letters have a formal tone as opposed to the informal, friendly or personal tone. Content and style of the personal letter. The treatment of the subject has to be simple, systematic and very formal. So few of the important points which is to be kept in mind while you are writing the business letter. They are begin by identifying yourself and clearly state the purpose of writing. Give relevant detail and make a request for appropriate action, and be positive and polite as well, even if you are making a complaint. Then use a very polite language and a very pleasant tone. Quote, refers number, order number, check, demand, draft number, file number. These are also important to be mentioned if you are writing a formal letter. Then convey the message briefly and in a straightforward manner. Second, informal will discuss about official. In official letter, it basically includes a letter of complaint again, then making inquiries and making a request or an appeal. So official letters are written to various public and civil servants who generally head their respective department, section, branches or zone. So there are again few important points which is to be kept in mind while you are writing official letter. And the important points are as follows. You need to show a due respect. But do not flatter or sound too servile. And then clearly state the purpose of writing, and then use polite language. Again, the same thing, the polite language and a very pleasant tone when you are writing a letter. Third is letter to the editor. These letter, there are 2 points which it tells. First is that these letter gives suggestion to the public on a suggestion on a public interest issue, and it gives suggestion on an issue already raised in an article or any write-up or published letter. They form the most important part of interactive journalism. The reader react on the news item or article to express their agreement or disagreement with an issue. Readers also write to the editor to draw the attention of the authorities toward problems that concern a large number of people. So here are also few important points which is to be kept in mind while I'm speaking about the letter to the editors. That is, you need to begin with reference to a recent development or the issue or the event. Next, you need to give detail of topic, bringing out cause-effect relationship, and you need to offer suggestions or say solutions. And do not ask the editor to solve the problem, as he can only voice your views and ideas. Then next is the job application. These type of letter demand a very formal and a precise treatment. Their format is almost the same as that of the forwarding letter and is usually accompanied by a biodata. The biodata ought to include the name, address, date of birth, marital status, educational qualification, experience, hobbies, present salary and expected salary, and references. So now talking about salutations and subscription. Salutation and subscription, dividing it into 3 parts so that it would be easy for you to understand. Like, first is, we'll keep in mind the relationship with the receiver, and then second we'll keep in mind the salutation, and then the subscription. Now getting into detail of it, like if the relationship is a blood relation or older than the sender, then like salutation like father, mother, my dear brother, my dear sister, dear uncle, dear aunt, dear grandfather, dear grandmother, dear cousin. So, and salutation here will be your affectionately son or daughter, affectionately yours, or your loving nephew or niece. And if there is a blood relation, second is if there is a blood relation with a younger than the sender is younger then my dear, and you can address that person with the name. Okay, and subscription, your loving or your affectionately. Similarly, if you're writing a letter, the relationship is like if you're writing a letter to a friend, then the salutation will be my dear friend, and then dear, again you can address that person with the name, and subscription will be yours sincerely or sincerely yours. If you're writing a letter to a stranger, then dear sir or madam, and the subscription will be yours truly. If you are again writing a letter to a business, if a letter is a business letter or a job application, then again the salutation will be sir, and subscription yours truly. And on the other hand, if you're writing a letter to the teacher or a principal of the school, then again you'll address, the salutation will be sir or madam, and subscription yours faithfully or yours obediently. And the last is like if you're writing a letter to the editor, then again the salutation here will be sir, and subscription yours truly. A few more things I would like to tell, like if you some useful expressions like about the type of the letter and the opening statement. Like if the type of a letter is a letter of inquiry, then how to start the opening statement if you are writing a letter of inquiry. It can be I am writing to inquire about, or I will or will be grateful if you could send me the following details. These are the two ways in which you can start the letter of inquiry. If you are writing a job application, then the opening statement can be, first is I am interested in applying for the post of, second, with reference to your advertisement in the following paper, dated and regarding the post of. This is how you can continue. If you are writing a letter for apology, you can write I am writing to apologize for, or I regret the inconvenience caused due to and the reason behind it. If you are writing a letter of complaint, first way is you can write with reference to our order number, dated, I would like to complain about, or this is to inform you that we are not satisfied with the consignment sent by you, or I must insist, and then you can continue writing your complaint. If your letter is to express your opinion, then the starting will be like in reply of your letter dated regarding, I would like to express my view on the matter, or you can also write I was delighted or shocked or horrified or disgusted to learn that, and then you can express your opinion. If you are writing a letter to make a request, then you can write I would be grateful if, or I wonder if you could help me, or I am writing to ask you for a favor. Last is if you're writing a letter to give advice, then you can write it would be a good idea to, or you can start it with have you thought about, and then you can continue writing your advice.